Terrific show of resilience and spirit. I love to see a team roll up their sleeves and force their way back. Superb.
A truly wonderful strike, decorated with dip and curl.
Well, the ball flight may be unpredictable, but the predictable part was the technique. It screamed goal all the way.
18, Lionel Messi! Lionel Messi! Lionel Messi!
And more. And surely that settles it.
How very smart. He just got it right.
Yeah, it's simply tragic defending when a renowned finisher is ignored. It's how he built his reputation.
And yes, it's him again.
Over the hills and far away. No catching them now.
After 78 minutes is number 10, Diego Maradona! Diego Maradona! Diego Maradona!
Substitutions taking place.
Final checks on the touchline. Panache and passion. This, a man full of it all. His position was perfect, the invitation was there for him, and his response absolutely clinical.
Yeah, it's simply tragic defending when a renowned finisher is ignored. It's how he built his reputation.
Lionel Messi!
And that means just one thing, match ball.
Oh, he's been unstoppable in this match. Every single time he's been in possession, he's looked a threat.
Toss, take the lead.
That really was a thing of beauty, curled in effortlessly.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise to see him elect to shoot from there, considering how much movement can be generated on the ball. Great hit.
After 37 minutes is number 18, Lionel Messi! Lionel Messi! Lionel Messi!
And surely that settles it.
The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
Yeah, that's what the game is all about. Excitement and entertainment. What a lovely moment.
They simply do not know what has hit them. And that is fabulous. A true beauty of a goal.
You know, I'm not going to be hard on the goalkeeper because that moved all over the place on its journey.
He takes home the match ball.
Even some of the opposing fans are clapping that. You just have to appreciate it.
You know, I'm not going to be hard on the goalkeeper because that moved all over the place on its journey.
After 35 minutes
And with
is
that, the hat-trick is complete.
Oh, this has been an immense contribution from one player. He's been just about unplayable. The irresistible force today.
Lionel Messi!
They are flying. That is is glorious, as if he picked it up and put it there himself.
Oh, that's a measured delight. The curl he applied was immaculate.
Santos take a 2-goal lead and things... Some heroic goalkeeping, but even that couldn't save them this time.
Look, that's one of the first things you learn, whether you're a striker or not. Just anticipate a goalkeeping parry or spillage, and sometimes you'll get lucky, it'll come your way.
And they are pulling clear here. Oh, that is a bit special.
Well, he made it look effortless. Clearly a training ground perfectionist.
And when the manager called on him, he was only too happy to repay that faith.
That's just as the manager...
And the lead is extended still further.
That really was a thing of beauty, curled in effortlessly.
You know, I'm not going to be hard on the goalkeeper because that moved all over the place on its journey.
Number 24, Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi.
Perhaps deserves a little bit of sympathy here because that's a goalkeeper's nightmare. It's clear that the keeper was unsighted by his defence, and by the time he picked up the flight of that, it was too late.
After 67 minutes.
And yes, it's him again.
Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho.
True class! Into the lead once more. A moment that needed composure, and he had plenty of it.
Ah, that's just clever. He made the keeper think he was going one way, only to outfox him by going the other. Very nice.
Number 11, Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho.
Hot knife through butter. They have done it again.
Well, I think there's a few trying to claim offside, but he looks to have been on. Yeah, he was on.
Barcelona are in front.
The keeper deserves some sympathy there. He may not have seen that until too late.
The goal scorer for Barcelona after 25 minutes is number 10, Antoine Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann. Antoine Griezmann.
That is glorious, as if he picked it up and put it there himself.
Yeah, and it's not a surprise to see him elect to shoot from there, considering how much movement can be generated on the ball. Great hit.
The goal scorer for Arsenal after 56 minutes is number 18, Harry Kane!
Is out of this world. Terrific improvisation and execution.
The execution here was absolutely awesome. They should be erecting a statue in his honour for that.
Number 9, Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe.
An absolute joy. How many? Just how many? The gulf in class is vast.
Well, I think we've reached the point when even damage limitations is no longer an option.
Much better. The scoreline entirely justified.
Yeah, it has become ugly for one, but the other is still delivering beauty.
10th goal, his first mini milestone.
Look, all they want to hear right now is the final whistle. They've been humiliated.
How many? Just how many? A rocket and some! Sumptuous finish, an absolute joy! And surely that settles it! You could play for any team in any league, in any land in the world, and you would never strike a ball more purely than that.
Look, sometimes when they're hit that well, there's nothing going to stop it. You have to acknowledge the ferocity. Well, there's always a chance of being caught like that when you surrender the football.
And there's the goal they've been looking for. That is glorious, as if he picked it up and put it there himself.
You know, what was notable in that, Peter, was the fact that he didn't try to blast it. He chose placement instead and delivered a peach.
And it didn't take him long. Just sitting on the bench and waiting moments ago, already he has scored.
That's just as the manager would have seen it.
And it is becoming almost too painful to watch. Where to next?
It's a mass exodus now. Certain sections of the stadium are leaving in droves, and you can't blame them.
Is getting ridiculous, borderline crazy.
Yeah, it has become ugly for one, but the other is still delivering beauty.
Control. calm, composed, confident. What a super goal.
Well, he's a defender's nightmare. You try to send him one way, and he just slips the other.
And the lead is extended still further.
Celtic clearly executed that with considerable confidence. It only took seconds to score once the ball was recovered.
Two up and threatening to pull clear. The lightness of step, the sharpness of movement, the certainty of finish.
Oh, that's wonderful to see. The run was explosive, the finish exquisite.
And yes, it's him again. The comeback is complete. That was a given, it always was.
Lewandowski really can't believe his luck. He was allowed so much room when he should have been boxed in.
A game of thrills, all square in the blinking of an eye.
Yeah, they say that fortune favours the brave, and we've just seen an example. This team has real personality and character. Yeah, great movement and great use of space to get on the end of the pass, and that pretty much did it.
To a heavily one-sided scoreline. This is getting punishing.
Well, I think we've reached the point when even damage limitations is no longer an option.
And it adds further to a heavily one-sided scoreline. This is getting punishing.
Well, I think we've reached the point when even damage limitations is no longer an option.
And very quickly, the substitute made his mark.
I think the manager's claiming an assist here.
Referee looks at his watch and blows his whistle. Oh, this is a side which is purring, picture perfect to win. They will relish having pulled. That settles it. And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Well, they say all goalkeepers are crazy, and after that, maybe there's some truth to it.
That looks like a preconceived plan. Win the ball and then unleash.
Goal to launch his new life, his new chapter. Well, it's taken a big deflection, but boy, he will want that one. peach. And they've got their lead back. A true beauty of a goal, so brilliantly executed.
Well, he made it look effortless, clearly a training ground perfectionist.
After 22 minutes is number 15, Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho. Ronaldinho.
And they are cruising away. And that was as close to certain as can be.
Yeah, I really can't say enough as to how good the final goal was. It took the defence out of the equation for that split moment, and the damage was all done.
Bernardo Silva.
And yes, it's him again.
Bernardo Silva.
Hot knife through butter. They have done it again. Any deeper thoughts about that goal?
I love the technique in that finish. There was a concentration to keep it down.
Flying.
Perhaps deserves a little bit of sympathy here, because that's a goalkeeper's nightmare. It's clear that the keeper was unsighted by his defence, and by the time he picked up the flight of that, it was too late.
Number 13, Ilkay Gundogan.
Such thrill, such noise, and how this matters.
Well, it's a goal fest, and the fact it's so one-sided now is getting scary. Look, there just wasn't much of a gap to begin with, and to find it, I think it was a fine drive, and I don't think the keeper could have really planned for that. I think he's a bit unlucky in that instance.
For Barcelona, after 31 minutes is number 8.
Rude awakening. It's almost as if the defence saw nothing coming. They just didn't anticipate, on heels rather than toes.
That is glorious, as if he picked it up and put it there himself.
You know, I'm not going to be hard on the goalkeeper, because that moved all over the place on its journey.
No contest. It is a landslide.
Well, there's always a chance of being caught like that when you surrender the football. Up there, another magnificent finish from Mr. Magnificent. This could be good, very good. Look, there just wasn't much of a gap to begin with, and to find it, I think it was a fine drive, and I don't think the keeper could have really planned for that. I think he's a bit unlucky in that instance.
They are in complete charge. Whose goal is that? Big deflection. That's one for the dubious goals panel.
Goal! After 75 minutes is number 49, Substitution on the field.
The lead is extended still further.
That is glorious, as if he picked it up and put it there himself.
Oh, that's a measured delight. The curl he applied was immaculate.
After 64 minutes is number 20, Gabriel Jesus.
A two-goal lead and they're firmly in control.
There was no getting to that, no getting to it at all. Expertly done.
No other outcome there. That was bang in the corner, unstoppable.
This from here, edging ahead again in the second half, is best followed up with a bold mindset, a bold approach. The skipper set the example. It's up to his teammates now to follow.
An act of charity gratefully received.
After 51 minutes is number 4.
To pull clear.
Well, we've seen the hunger to win it back and the focus to make it count. A very tasty combination.
The goal scorer for Croatia after 51 minutes is number 8, Mateo Kovacic.
Team talks at half-time too. What a magnificent piece of play by the skipper to create a really buoyant atmosphere in his own dressing room now, and a very uncertain one on the other.
Germany really were asking for trouble there by failing to cope with a formidable press.
Just how many? The gulf in class is vast.
Yeah, it has become ugly for one, but the other is still delivering beauty.
And yes, it's him again. Yet another goal in an awesome performance. They are in complete charge.
Yeah, the pass was bang on, and he just had to ensure he didn't stray offside. The finish was actually bang on too.
89 minutes is number 9, Olivier Giroud.
Still further. Quite exquisite, brilliantly dispatched.
Okafor simply judged everything beautifully. That takes a lot of training ground practice, and we know what practice can make.
86 minutes is number 17.
gem! An absolute gem! A 2-goal lead and they're firmly in control.
And that is a smashing hit, struck with power and accuracy.
That's a great hit, but you've got to question why the defence didn't do a better job in trying to close it down.
Players ecstatic, fans delirious. This is utopian.
And he's only too grateful to capitalise on the keeper's misfortune.
Yeah, his instinct told him that the keeper would struggle to cope with that, so top marks for him following up. I think it's really sharp play, it was well read, and he was a little quicker than everybody else.
From the top draw, and they're at it again in double quick time. The purest possible contact. What a fabulous strike.
Yeah, I just thought he made great use of his upper body there. It would have taken something really special to keep that out.
Number 23,